What if one person's life could unlock the hidden power in yours? What if their journey wasn't just a story, but a blueprint to fuel your wildest dreams? Today, we're diving deep into the extraordinary motivational legacy of Rim John, a legacy that could redefine what's possible for you, starting right now. Today, I don't just want to tell you a story. I want to hand you a torch lit by the legacy of Rim John, a legacy that whispers to every broken heart, every struggling soul, every overlooked dreamer, get up, you are not done yet. Who is Rim John? Rim John is not just a name. He is a movement, a mindset, a message to the world that no matter where you begin, you have the power to determine where you end. He was not born in fame. He was not molded in luxury. Rim John came from the places society often ignores, from humble beginnings, overlooked neighborhoods, with no connections, no safety net. And yet from that soil a seed grew, a seed that would one day bear fruits of inspiration for the entire world. He didn't have fame, he didn't have fortune, but he had vision, a dream that wouldn't die, a fire that refused to be put out. He had a spirit that echoed through every hardship, and an unwavering belief that the impossible was just another challenge waiting to be conquered. Life tested him early. Hunger, hardship, loneliness, he knew them all by name. He didn't read about pain in books. He lived it. Nights spent in cold silence, with dreams bigger than the room he slept in. Days where rejection greeted him before breakfast. Every corner he turned, someone was ready to tell him he wouldn't make it. Teachers doubted him. Friends left him. Strangers mocked his ambition. But instead of breaking, he built. He built resilience, a mindset of steel, and a heart that refused to be defeated. But the thing about Rim John, he listened, and then he rose. He didn't fight life with fists. He fought it with vision, with relentless consistency, with the kind of faith that only grows in the dark. He believed in effort, in progress, in the beauty of becoming more than your circumstances. Where others saw a wall, he saw a challenge. Where others turned around, he found a way through. Everyone has a moment when they want to give up. For Rim, it came during one of his lowest nights. He stood alone, drenched in rain, abandoned by friends, broken his pocket and almost broken in spirit. But instead of giving up, he gave in, not to fear, but to faith, not to despair, but to destiny. He realized in that moment that true transformation doesn't come in comfort, it is born in chaos. That night, he looked at the mirror and said, I don't need the world to believe in me. I just need to believe harder than ever before. That single line became his mantra, his foundation, his promise to himself. From that moment, he walked differently, not with arrogance, but with purpose. He was no longer waiting for validation. He was moving with conviction. Rim John began small, one speech, one idea, one step, and then another and another. He educated himself tirelessly, turning every failure into a lesson, every scar into a badge. He turned his pain into poetry, his struggle into speeches, his silence into sound. Books became his mentors. Experience became his classroom. He didn't just dream, he acted. Daily, faithfully, unapologetically. He started to teach, to mentor, to inspire, not because he had all the answers, but because he asked all the right questions. What does it take to be more than average? What does it mean to live a life that matters? How can I serve while I rise? Bit by bit, people noticed, not just because he succeeded, but because he lifted others as he climbed. His message was clear. If I can rise from nothing, so can you. Fuel your dreams. That became his cry. Not just a slogan, but a strategy. A reminder that passion without action is nothing. That dreams are not luxury items, they are necessities for those brave enough to live with purpose. Rim taught that success is not about applause. It's about impact. It's about waking up every day with intention. It's about refusing to settle. It's about falling 7 times and standing up 8. He believed you don't wait for motivation. You build discipline. You don't wait for opportunity. You create your own. You don't wait for permission. You give yourself a chance. He didn't just tell others to rise. He showed them how. One day a teenager came to him, hopeless. She had failed multiple times, lost her confidence, and believed she was worthless. Rim John sat with her and said, "You are not your failure. You are your fight." Today, that same girl runs her own company, mentoring hundreds of others who once felt like her. Because Rim didn't just speak into minds, he spoke into souls. There was also the young boy from the street who had never seen a classroom and believed he was born to survive, not succeed. Rim gave him a book and a belief. That boy is now a published author. The spark was always there. It just needed someone to light it. This was Rim John's power, awakening power in others. As his story spread, so did his influence. He was invited to speak around the globe, from universities to street corners, from boardrooms to shelters, not because he was the most polished, but because he was the most real. Youth from every background found something of themselves in him. He became a mirror of possibility, showing them that even the most shattered beginnings can become shining examples. He showed the world that greatness is not a place, it is a mindset. Lead with integrity. Rim never traded his values for success. He proved you can win without losing your soul. Serve with heart. He gave more than he received, because he believed that the hand that lifts another also lifts itself. Never stop learning. He remained a student, always asking, always evolving. Stay relentless. When most stop at the first sign of resistance, Rim went further. Leave a mark, not just on paper, but on people. That, he said, is true immortality. Rim John didn't just fight for himself. He fought for the future of others, for the youth sitting in small towns thinking they aren't enough, for the dreamers doubting their strength, for the voices that feel too small in a world too loud. And now it's your turn. You don't need permission to chase your dream. You need belief. You need action. You need heart. What will you do with your fire? Will you let it die in doubt? Or will you fuel your dreams until they light up skies no one ever thought you could touch? Your journey starts the moment you decide you're worthy of greatness. Not tomorrow, not next year. Now you were not born to blend in. You were born to break limits. You were not born to wait. You were born to ignite. So rise, run, speak, dream, fail, learn, building, repeat. Do it scared. Do it tired. Do it imperfect. But just do it. And when they ask, where did this fire come from? Smile and say, I lit it with the legacy of Rim John. Fuel your dreams. The world is waiting for your flame. It is your time, your turn, your legacy in the making. Rim John never saw success as a destination, but as a responsibility. He always said, your success means nothing if it doesn't help others rise. He dedicated his life to serving youth, mentoring thousands and creating opportunities for those who had none. His legacy is not just his achievements, but the countless lives he transformed by sharing hope and wisdom. Now the question is, what will you do? Will you let your dreams fade or fuel them with relentless action? Rim John's legacy challenges you to rise, not tomorrow, not someday, but today. Take that first step. Speak your truth. Chase your passion. Every small effort compounds into greatness. Remember, the future belongs to those who dare to start. Rim John believed that vision is the lens through which you view your future. He often said, if you only look at where you are, you will miss where you're going. True vision requires you to see beyond the struggles of today and imagine the possibilities of tomorrow. He challenged young people to ask themselves every day, what does my future look like? How will I create it? Vision is not just dreaming, it's clear, intentional, and unwavering belief in what can be. He reminded us that when you have vision, no obstacle is too large, no challenge too great. Vision gives you purpose, and purpose fuels perseverance. One of Rim John's most powerful lessons was about discipline, the quiet, unseen effort that compounds over time. Dreams don't work unless you do, he would say. He encouraged young people to build daily habits of growth, reading, learning, practicing, and improving. It is not just big moments, but small, consistent actions that create miracles. He used to say, motivation will fade, but discipline will carry you when passion runs low. Every morning, Rim reminded himself and others, success is built on the foundation of what you do every single day. Fear is a natural feeling, Rim John acknowledged, but it must never control your choices. Fear is the enemy of progress, he said, but courage is the fuel. He taught that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite fear. Every time you take a step forward, even when scared, you grow stronger. He shared his own moments of fear, fear of failure, rejection, and loneliness, but he never let them stop him. Instead, he let his dreams be bigger than his fears. For every young person struggling with doubt, Rim's message was clear. Face your fears. They are your greatest teachers. Rim John never walked his path alone. He believed in the power of mentorship and community. We rise by lifting others, he would say. He encouraged youth to find mentors who can guide, challenge, and support them. But he also taught the importance of becoming mentors themselves, passing on the light to those behind them. His own mentors had shaped his path, and now his mission was to create a ripple effect of empowerment and encouragement. He reminded young people, your success is not just about you. It's about the legacy you leave in the lives you touch. Patience was Rim John's silent strength. He understood that great things take time. He often reminded youth, you cannot rush a flower to bloom, but you can water it every day. In a world obsessed with instant results, Rim's words were a reminder that patience is a virtue and a necessity. Progress may seem slow, but every effort is a step closer to your dreams. He taught that patience is not passive waiting, but active perseverance. It is faith in the process even when you can't see immediate results. Rim John's legacy is a beacon of hope for those in darkness. He knew what it meant to face crushing adversity, but he also knew that hope is the light that guides us out of the storm. He said, when the night is darkest, the stars shine brightest. To every young person battling hopelessness, he offered this truth. Your circumstances do not define your destiny. Hope is not wishful thinking. It is the foundation of resilience. It is the fire that refuses to be extinguished. Today, I stand before you with the legacy of Rim John, a legacy that is not just history, but a living, breathing challenge. What will your story be? Will you be the dreamer who gave up, or the dreamer who fueled their dreams with relentless faith and action? Remember, legacies are built by choices, every day, every moment. So rise up, stand tall, speak loudly, dream wildly, fail courageously, love deeply, give freely. The world needs your light, your passion, your fire. Your legacy begins the moment you decide it does. Rim John believed that education is not confined to the walls of a classroom. True education, he said, is the unending pursuit of knowledge, wisdom, and self-improvement. He urged youth from every background to seek knowledge relentlessly, whether through books, experiences, conversations, or failures. Education, he taught, is the tool that sharpens your mind and prepares you to face the world's challenges. But beyond technical skills, Rim John emphasized emotional intelligence, the ability to understand yourself and others. He believed this was the foundation of true leadership and success. To every young person listening, Rim John's message is clear. Never stop learning, growing, and evolving. Your mind is your greatest asset. Invest in it. Passion is the heart of Rim John's legacy. He said, "Passion is the fire that ignites your soul and lights your way even in the darkest times." He believed every young person has a unique spark, a gift or calling that can change their life and the lives of others. The challenge is to find it, nurture it, and let it burn fiercely. Rim John warned against settling for mediocrity or ignoring that inner voice. If your heart isn't in it, you will never truly succeed, he reminded. For youth still searching, Rim John's words offer hope. Explore, experiment, and listen to your heart. Your passion is waiting for you to claim it. Rim John was a believer in the transformative power of positive thinking. Your mind is a garden, he would say. Plant seeds of positivity and watch your life bloom. He taught youth to guard their thoughts carefully. Negativity, he warned, is a thief of dreams. Surrounding yourself with positive people, words, and actions can create a ripple effect of growth and happiness. He also acknowledged that life isn't always easy, but choosing positivity, even in the face of hardship, is an act of strength. He said, optimism is not blind hope. It is fierce determination to believe in better days. Rim John never underestimated the power of gratitude. Gratitude turns what we have into enough, he said. In every speech, he reminded youth to pause and appreciate their journey, the struggles, the victories, the lessons. He explained that gratitude shifts your perspective from lack to abundance. It opens your heart to joy and fuels resilience during tough times. For youth who feel overwhelmed by their challenges, Rim John's advice was simple but profound. Count your blessings every day, and you will find strength to keep moving forward. Above all, Rim John stressed the importance of character. Talent and skill will open doors, but character will keep them open, he taught. Integrity, the alignment of your words and actions, and humility, the willingness to learn from others, were the pillars of his success. He reminded youth that the world will test their values and ethics. The true measure of a person is how they respond in those moments. Be honest with yourself and others. Stay humble in your victories and gracious in your defeats. Finally, Rim John emphasized that life is a journey of self-discovery. Know yourself deeply, your strengths, your weaknesses, your dreams, and your fears, he said. Self-awareness, he believed, is the foundation for making wise decisions and living authentically. He encouraged youth to spend time reflecting, journaling, and seeking feedback from trusted mentors. The better you know yourself, the clearer your path will become. As you stand at the crossroads of your life, remember Rim John's words and legacy. Your dreams are valid. Your efforts matter. Your life has infinite potential. Fuel your dreams with passion, discipline, and courage. Embrace failure as a teacher. Seek knowledge without end. Build a character that shines in darkness. Most importantly, believe in yourself when no one else does. Your journey will inspire others, just like Rim John's inspired millions. The future is yours. Fuel it with your dreams.